Hello, I'm so excited for you to be a part of the oil experience class. So I'm just gonna go over a few things that you're gonna need before we get started. So the first thing you'll need is your little sample packs that you got. So have those close by. We're gonna be opening those up and using those. And then if you wanna grab an empty glass, and what we're gonna do with this is most of these have 4 to 5 drops in them, and we're only gonna be using about 1 to 2 drops in these. So if you, after you open them, if you keep them upright and keep them in a glass, then tomorrow or whenever you can come back to them and reuse them instead of just pitching them. So your samples, an empty glass, then you're gonna need a glass of water. And if you have a stainless steel straw, you can grab that. If you don't, then just grab a spoon. And the last thing you will need is some coconut oil. I know if you do have fractionated coconut oil, which just is a fancy word to say it stays in the liquid form. If you have that, you can use that, but if not, just a regular coconut oil from your kitchen or even an olive oil, that'll work too. So if you don't have those things handy, then go ahead and pause me right now and go get those things and then meet back here. So, but if you do have those things, let's go ahead and get started. So before we dive into our samples, I just want to share a little bit with you about me. So I am Rachel. I have 3 boys, and I thought I was this super healthy person, and I didn't really have issues in high school or college. I was pretty healthy. And then all of a sudden I take a teaching job and life just kind of hit me and it seemed like hormones kind of went downhill, immunity went downhill. I started getting chronic throat infections, just reoccurring. Because of that, that led to antibiotic resistance, which was super scary because I had all these nodules on my throat and my throat was kind of closing up and it was just terrible. So I had the chronic throat infections, antibiotic resistance, then I started having some major hormone problems, which later led to infertility. And so I'm not going to take the time to go into all of my story, but it's those complications that kind of started me on my path of a wellness, just thinking about, you know, I was the product queen. I had all the hair products, all the makeup products, and I just started questioning, like, what am I rubbing on my skin? Skin's your largest organ and everything gets absorbed, and what am I putting on my body? And it matters. And so when I started my wellness journey, I really didn't know anything about oils at the time. I just started some serious detoxes and tinctures and herbs, and that was just like my starting point. So anyway, I've learned a lot since then, and I won't go into all of it, but I like to give the illustration of the 3 little pigs. So we know that they had the straw house, and then the sticks, and then the brick house. And so I like to think of myself early on is I was that straw house. Like, it was pretty rough. And when the winds blew, like, there wasn't left much standing. And so I slowly started working towards that stick house, and then it got a little better and I got a little bit more stable. But right now my goal is to start laying those bricks for a really great foundation, and not only for myself, but now I do have children, and thank God that that was through my infertility I was able to have children. So now I'm worried and concerned about them. I want them to have a really great foundation, and I want them to have bricks too. And I want to help them to start lay those bricks as well. So that's just a little bit about me. So let's go ahead and dive into our oils. So the first one that you have in this little guy is your lemon. So let's go ahead and grab our lemon, and I just want to point something out to you. So lemon, I'm going to use my bottles instead of opening up a sample. It has a colored bottle, and then there's also a little white one that they call the Vitality. And the reason that there's 2 is the FDA says you may not label something as topical and as internal. You have to choose one or the other. And the reason for that is they don't understand, like, if you had a steroid cream, you would not rub that cream on your skin and you would not ingest that. In the FDA's eyes, it's one or the other. And so Young Living says, okay, we know how to work around that, because you can apply lemon topically and then you can have it in your water. So this one is labeled topical, this one is labeled for internal, capsule or water, things like that, but it's the same oil, it's the same thing, same. So, so we are going to grab our lemon, and hopefully you have your glass of water, and we are gonna take and we're gonna drop 1 to 2 drops of lemon in our water. I like to do more, but if you're just starting off, you can keep it simple and just start with 1 or 2. I also like to grab like a little stevia pack. This makes it just super yummy. Sweetens it up a little. My kids think that this is lemonade and they love it. So I'm gonna use my stainless steel straw. If you don't have a stainless straw, you can stir that up with a spoon. The reason we don't want plastic is lemon likes to break things down. And so we wouldn't want to use a plastic cup or a plastic straw. It would start to break that plastic down because it likes to pull things. So the illustration I like to use is how we have carbon water filters for our water to cleanse and purify our water. So similarly, our oils are made primarily of carbon. So as similar to how the carbon filter works for the water, our oil does inside our body. It likes to grab onto things and then it grabs them until they are flushed out. So it's a great way to really cleanse. So good. We love that around here. So good. So that was our lemon. Next, we're gonna move on to Peace and Calming. So go ahead and you grab your sample. So what I like to do with Peace and Calming is, 1, I keep the regular orifice reducer top, and that way we can put it into our diffuser at night. The boys, 9 times out of 10, when I ask them, what do you want diffused tonight? At bedtime, they almost always pick Peace and Calming. So I like to keep 1 with the orifice reducer, and then 1, I like to put a little roller top on, and then that way we can roll. So if you want to just open up your packet, and I'm using this guy because I already have a roller, but go ahead and roll him on, or you're going to be dropping it on your forearm, and just kind of rub that in. Peace and Calming is really citrusy. It's got tangerine in it. It has blue tansy, so if it seems a little blue tint on your skin, totally normal. The blue tansy is what gives it a little bit of the blue tint. And what I think is really special about Peace and Calming is it's a calming blend that actually doesn't have lavender. Sometimes people are a little sensitive to lavender and they can't use it for whatever reason. And so this is a great option if you want a calming blend that doesn't have lavender in it. It's just real citrusy, really nice. And it's definitely a favorite in our house. So hopefully you were able to give that a try. The next one we're going to try out, if you want to pull off your sample pack, is lavender. And lavender also comes in Vitality. So we know we can make lavender lemonade. So that's kind of fun that it has the 2 options. So we're going to do something super fun with this. This is something I like to do. So I like to drop this on the crown of my head. So stay with me, stay with me. I know this might be different for some of you, but here's what we like to do in our house. So I'm gonna take my hair and I'm gonna part it back. I'm gonna try to get back to the crown, and I'm just gonna part my hair all the way. If it's not perfect, doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna drop 1 to 2 drops on the crown of my head and just kind of rub it in. And we love to do that at our house. I have a son that is a Mr. Crazy Pants. Maybe you have one of those too. And we love to drop, we will do Peace and Calming, we will do lavender, we will do cedarwood, those kind of grounding calming oils, and we like to especially do it before our community day with our CC group. And one day I had dropped the kids with Peace and Calming on their heads before we went to the dentist, and the dentist was like, what did you put on the kids? They were so calm and they smelled so good. And I'm like, peace and calming. So it's just kind of funny. So the kids are kind of used to that now, but we love it. We love that the brain is right there and all that goodness gets to our brain. Kind of helps with cognition and focus. And we also know that I believe this is God's design, but a lot of the toxins and stuff that are out there, they're kind of bigger molecules and they can't make it past the blood-brain barrier. And I believe God created our brains that way to kind of protect. But what's interesting is that the plants, our body knows what to do with them, and the molecules are small enough they can cross that blood-brain barrier. And I think that was God's way of being like, okay, these are allowed in, this is good for you. So I just love that fun fact. So next, you ready for the next one? We're moving on to peppermint, and I love this one. So peppermint also is in the vitality and the colored. And so we know we could do peppermint tea, which is so good. But right now we are going to take our peppermint and we are going to do 1 drop in our palm. And then we're gonna kind of rub just a little bit and then breathe really, really deep. I love that. It is so clarifying. Oh my goodness. Just really helps open up those airways. We love to do this in those stuffy times. And it smells fantastic in the diffuser. We love peppermint. One of my sons, it's actually his favorite. He says it smells like candy, like peppermint patties or candy canes. So I love peppermint. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Oh, I will say though, be really careful, like after you've had it in your hands, be careful you don't want to touch your eyes. It could sting a little, just kind of something to be aware of. If you did happen to get oil in your eye, you always want to remember, fight fire with fire. So if you notice redness anywhere on your skin or oil gets somewhere where you don't want it to be, fight an oil with an oil. So grab coconut oil out of your kitchen, olive oil out of your kitchen, and that oil will help kind of carry it away, Do not use soap and water, or soap doesn't really matter, but water, water and oil don't mix, and it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help with the irritation. It might even make the irritation worse. So I just like to tell people, fight fire with fire. So if you have oil somewhere where you don't want it to be, grab some oil and start flushing that out. We've never really had an issue, and we like to rub our hands. We've not had any issues, but you could always wash your hands afterwards if you're worried about peppermint touching eyes or something. Okay, so next one, I believe this is our last one, and it's a good one. Thieves. And Thieves also comes in the little vitality, so we could drop a drop onto our tea bag and have Thieves tea. That is one of my favorite things in the whole world to do, especially in the winter. So comforting to your throat, so good. So actually, Thieves got its name from robbers who would, back in the time of the plague, they would go and rob the dead and the dying. And when they were finally caught, they were offered a lesser sentence if they shared their secret of, how did you guys not get sick? You were up in here robbing dead and dying people. How did you not get sick? And their secret was they would take kind of like bandana type cloths and rags, and they would soak them in this blend of herbs, and they would wrap it around their face as they robbed the dead and the dying. And so that blend of herbs inspired Thieves, the clove, the cinnamon, the eucalyptus. So this is a really great blend. So what we're gonna do with this, you're gonna need your coconut oil if you grabbed it, or your fractionated oil if you have it. I will go ahead and use this so you can see how you can use it in case you don't have fractionated. So I am just gonna take my little finger and kind of scoop around the rim and just kind of get a little bit. Well, thought I had some in the rim. Scoop down in here, get some. Here we go. Okay. So I've got some on my finger like this, and I'm just gonna put it in my palm of my hand, If you do have the fractionated, it's a little less messy. And better yet, if you have rollers, which we'll talk about later, rollers are totally the way to go. You don't have to be messy at all. But for this sake, we're just gonna put some coconut oil here, and then we're gonna drop, 1 to 2, doesn't really matter. Just got 1 there, and I'm gonna rub this together till I get some of that coconut oil to kind of melt. And we are gonna put this on our spine. So go ahead and rub that up and down your spine. Thieves, because of the cinnamon and the clove, it can feel a little spicy, feel a little warm, maybe a little tingly, a little uncomfortable. If for some reason you're feeling uncomfortable at all, maybe you don't have enough carrier oil. So just grab your coconut oil or olive oil and just add some more oil until the little tingling goes away, or the sensitivity. So you can rub that on your back, you can grab your feet, rub it on the bottom of your feet. So one thing I like to do with my kids, I started oiling after my second was born. And I started when he was an infant. And I loved it, he loved it. But I started by rolling on the bottoms of his feet, because the bottoms of our feet are nice and calloused and the skin is nice and thick, and the chance of irritation down there is way less than somewhere else. So you can always start at the bottoms of the feet, great place to start, especially with children. But once you're ready to move past the feet, another really great spot is the spine. And that's because lots of yucky stuff likes to hang out in our spine, and it's just a really good spot to put that there and kind of help with all that in our spine. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that was helpful. I believe we went through all of our little packets. So just a few more things I want to share with you before I let you go, and that is if you decided that you're like, I would love these products in my home, I would love to be using oils with my children, I want to show you the easiest way to get started, and that is with a starter kit. And it has a beautiful desert mist diffuser that has different options, a low and a high, and then an intermittent, and this can last all night long on the intermittent setting. It is so, so good. We actually have a diffuser in every room in our house, from the living room to all the bedrooms to the basement. We love our diffusers. So the kit comes with a diffuser, and then it also comes with this amazing box. Try to open it up here, and you're gonna get all these oils. And just when you thought this is a lot of oil, you pull this out, this actually will stand up. I'll have to show that to you in a second, how it can stand up. And then behind here, there's like a secret compartment. If you pull this out, even more. It's got Stress Away and Peace and Calming and some hand spray and hand sanitizer. We use this spray and the sanitizer everywhere. We have multiples in all of our bags. We like to spray restaurant tables and hands and toilet seats when we are out and about. Purifier is great too. And then the little Ningxia packets, which our family loves Ningxia. It's wolfberry and it's super high in antioxidants, 10 times the power of blueberries. So fantastic supplement. My boys love it. They beg to drink it all the time. They would drink it all day if I let them. And then this is the beautiful oils that it comes with. And what I would love to do for you, if you decide you'd like to jump in, what my gift to you is, we have 3 different lines of recipe cards. So I'll show you the children's line first. We have recipes and little rollers that match, and the little characters are so adorable. This is the My Breathe, and even my 2-year-old, he knows which one is the breathe, he knows it's the bull, and he goes and grabs it when he needs that breathing support. And we have a whole line of those kids cards and those rollers and those labels. We have an infant line. This is one of the infant rollers, and they've got little characters on there too, so sweet. And then we also have an adult line of recipes and rollers that are geared towards adults. So what I would love to do is walk alongside of you on your health journey and help you decide where you would like support, whether it's for yourself, for your children, for your husband, for a mom or a dad. I would love to walk alongside of you and help you come up with a plan and help you dive into your kit. And obviously with recipes and rollers, I will be with you every step of the way to help you get the most bang for your buck with that kit. It is $165, and I tell people that is half the price of one doctor visit for one of my children, and I have 3. So staying well is a really big deal in our family, and staying well saves us so much money from doctor visits and everything else, because we've been down that road and we've had to play that game, and it's not fun. And so I love teaching people how to have a healing home and how to have wellness in their home, and I would love to journey alongside with you. I hope that this class was helpful for you, and I can't wait to chat soon. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.